Drop.
Boom, what up, y'all? Good morning,
Beastie
good morning.
Boys dropped at that.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I'm your host, A.D. Walker. To my left, right is my brother, Master Ace, a.k.a. Kaneem Curvey. Right below me, Lakers fan, a.k.a. Pharrell, a.k.a. Thomas Cotton in the building.
That's Pharrell's uncle.
To my corner, Pastor Brian A. McCrory in building. Oh, sorry, got to represent. Representing Dallas. See, looking backwards. See, looking back. All right, so make sure you guys sharing is caring. Blessings, Lisa. Thank you for rocking.
Morning, Lisa.
Thank you for being here always. Make sure you are sharing like Lisa does. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're watching this on replay, let me know. I'm watching this on replay. So we appreciate you for being with us and just stay connected. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. The men of many hats. Yeah, I'm the only one. I don't rock a hat. What up, Jeff? Good morning.
It's because you got good hair.
What up, Jeff? What up, Lisa? What up, everybody else?
We all got the same haircut, so you got to be able to tell us apart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That melanin is shining this morning.
The melanin is shining. All right, so let's go. We're going to kick it off. Again, make sure you share. If you're in the text community, text somebody else. Just text one other person. Tell them, yo, come on and hang out with these brothers. All right, we'll be right back.
Stand up.
Welcome back. All right. I'm like you, Thomas. I think I got too many windows open, so it's moving a little slow this morning.
Yeah, I had to close some of mine. Y'all was getting frozen on now.
Okay, hold on. Let's get into this real quick. So, are you guys a big windows, like have a lot of windows open while you're working? Pastor, are you that way as well? My wife is always on me. I'm like, I ain't got that many windows. She's like, this don't make any sense.
Right now, I have
a bunch of them open now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 21 open in Chrome. And then
I wish I could share my screen with you because I can't even tell you how many Chrome windows I have open.
Right.
That's just the base Chrome. I have tabs open that go with it. Like even in this one, I got
the separate tab joints.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling down right now. The whole time I've been talking, I'm still scrolling through Chrome windows. That's how long it's still going right now.
Yeah,
that's how many I have open.
Bing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28 right. In Bing.
Yeah.
That's on that system. And then
like, that's
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And Chrome on this one.
I'm a serial tab person.
Yeah.
On my phone, I got over 100. You know, they don't even show the number no more of how many browsers I have open. It just shows me a face.
My joint stops. Really? My joint's like you can't open another window until you close some of these tabs.
Well, see, I gotta
clear out.
Computer, so my computer can handle all of it.
Right.
And I got 3 screens in front of me, so this
tabs everywhere.
Yeah.
How many tabs do you really need, though? Like, how many tabs?
All of mine.
Yeah, all of them. Because I need to go back. I just never go back.
That's what I'm saying. You know, you don't go back. Like, I know I've saved stuff, and I'm like, let me save that for later. Let me later. I got it later.
Oh,
later.
well, there's a difference between how many I have open and how many I have saved as favorites.
No, not favorites. I'm just talking about open.
Open.
Yeah.
Because
Open,
me and Thomas
okay,
on the same
gave you-
wavelength. Like open, I'm gonna go back to it. And you know,
I'm gonna go. I'll get back to this.
I'll be back.
Oh, see, I use mine, but see, over here, like my work stuff, it's being used because I have to get into all these databases.
At some point, right?
Yeah, and
So-
depending on the client.
I'm with you. Like I multitask so much. You know, I
What's
have
up,
my
man?
work, I have my school, I have life, I have other things, and they're all open. And you know, on Windows,
and
on Windows, you can do different desktops. So
Yeah,
not
no,
only
I
do I have all the windows open, I have different desktops also
Yeah.
that are set up. So it's like, it's crazy.
See, I separate like work is to my left,
right.
personal is to my right. Never the two shall meet.
Man, that's on my tablet, but that's nothing else.
Wow.
I got
Yeah.
3 phone numbers on my phone. So
Yeah,
you know,
I can listen,
figure
man.
it out.
I got true diversity. Those two worlds do not come together.
mine stay together.
So Lisa said, she said, hold on, that's Michael.
34. Wow.
34 windows open. in Chrome.
Lisa
He
is
said,
a
I'm-
creative. She's a creative.
I feel so much better, y'all.
Y'all can help.
Oh man, that's hilarious. What's up, Jeff? Good morning. Good morning.
Kaneen's like, hey, I ain't got my computer with me, so y'all handle that.
Right.
Mama Corey, it's
Look,
nice seeing
I
you.
bet he has more
Yeah,
than 15.
I'm waiting for something to these sports.
You know what?
Mm.
You just ready to jump on in? I was trying to warm up to it. Said no, Zuckerberg just.
Hey, I
just-
mean,
just-
I'm
just
just
doesn't
saying,
like-
I don't have no tell. Well, let me check my tablet then, since y'all want to go. Go ahead, y'all carry on.
Nah, you ain't gotta check all that. It's just off the rip. I probably have like 12. I'm probably like 15. I'm not even counting. I already know 15 is probably the minimum. So today we're talking about what has life taught you, your life journey. And I'm kind of doing it with a twist, right? Because my brothers, especially, they are, I won't say entrenched, but they have probably been following sports for quite some time, due to who they hang out with, just life in general. So my question today, like going back to your early years, either high school years, who were your sports teams that influenced you and why? Because I didn't even know that about Pastor's story about the Dallas. I thought I knew it, but obviously I didn't. He shared it. So you got to start off, Pastor, because I didn't know that. How you got into Dallas, and then
Dallas.
You guys.
So I grew up a Bears fan because I grew up in Illinois.
Right.
So Walter Payton was everything. But in the late 70s, Dallas and Pittsburgh Steelers were going back and forth. Roger Staubach, Terry Bradshaw. And I made a bet with one of my mom's friends, Kenny Redmond, 50 cent in the Super Bowl. And I won the bet. And so Dallas became an affinity behind the Bears.
Right.
So when I was in 8th grade, I actually had a Dallas Cowboy book bag, little small duffel bag, right, that I could carry my books and stuff to school. I guess I'll add, we were living in Chicago one year, and I took my bag to school, and a roach crawled out my bag, and people saw it in the class. I had left my desk and came back, and they said, "Man, a roach crawled out your bag." I'm like, "Okay, there's nothing I can say."
Right.
We used to have to check our shoes out in the morning. So that was the beginning of my affinity for the Dallas Cowboys. And then, fast forward all these years later, 1994, y'all know I'm a father of 5. I had 1 son, 4 daughters. And January 30th, 1994 was Super Bowl Sunday. My son was born 8:32 that morning. So I got a chance to hold my only son and in the hospital and watch the Super Bowl. Dallas was playing the Bills.
Wow.
And so
Buffalo.
Dallas won that day. So I became a diehard Dallas fan January 30th, 1994. And there was nothing. There is nothing that anybody can say, nothing anybody can do. I don't care how much they lose. It doesn't matter. I'm taking Dallas to the grave.
Wait a minute. It makes so much more sense now, though.
My son was born on Super Bowl Sunday and Dallas won. Right. Dallas won when my son passed away.
Wow.
So they won when he came in, and they won when he left out.
Wow.
Won the Super Bowl?
No, not the Super Bowl, just a game. Well, you know, they won the Super Bowl in 2020.
The last time they won the Super Bowl was then. It makes sense now.
They were victorious both times.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. You just had to slide that in.
Right. You see that, right? How you take away from my brother's moment? How you take away from that moment, brother?
No, it just makes sense now, though. Like, you have a good reason. I respect that.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
I think everything that comes with it, man, but there's nothing anybody can do.
Right. Listen, everybody else, I don't understand why. You got a solid reason right there.
Yeah. and I got a chance. I was in Houston in 2009 at a Houston's restaurant in Houston, and Jerry Jones was in there, and I saw him in the bathroom.
You said you went to the bathroom.
I saw him in the bathroom and this is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And I took the opportunity to try to tell him my story. He goes, "Oh, that's great."
Off limits for real. And you broke the bro code, man.
Hey, Eminem said you only got one shot, right? Do not miss your chance to flow. Flow, bathroom. Yeah, okay.
I don't think you meant it that way.
You don't think he meant it that way, Kaneem?
Hey, good thing I know your heart.
Oh man, bless your heart. Bless your heart. What about you, Kaneem? What about when you was growing up? The high school.
Man, that was hard telling that story.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Growing up, you talking about high school?
Yeah, like who was your team and why? Or were you like a fan of one and switched over?
Oh man, I'm not never switch. No switching.
No switching.
No switches. All right. Houston Rockets.
Okay.
All the way. We was riding them in Houston Rockets, and we could never get over the hump with the Portland Trailblazers. Portland Trailblazers, they always came to Houston and put us up, beat us upside the head. But when we got Mario Elie, Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, Otis Thorpe, I'm saying I ain't even got to the main stage. But we had Ralph Sampson, we had Elijah Warren. Hey, we was on fire for a little second there, boy. I'm trying to tell you. So, and one thing about it was that there was two things about it. And then our coach was Rudy Tomjanovich. Rudy didn't play. Ralph Sampson didn't play. Mario Elie didn't play. When I say play, that means they wasn't taking no trash. They was quick to knock you in your mouth. That's back when you could fight.
Right.
And the one that would definitely knock you 3 or 4 rows back was Akeem Olajuwon. Man. Olajuwon was knocking you out. Well, this is early on in his career, though. Right. He had to calm down and know that he needed to be on the floor in order for them to win.
Right.
But yeah, man, that was back in my head. I mean, but I was just a Houston sports. I was a fanatic about sports. I was Nolan Ryan fan. I was Roger Clemens. Now all these folks is back in the 80s and 90s, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm talking about. I mean, I was Warren Moon, Ernest Givens. Right. I was Ray Childress. It was crazy back then. I mean, it was just old Portland Trail. I couldn't stand them. But yeah, man, sports played a big role because I mean, when Love You Blue, I don't know if y'all know about that Love You Blue, but it was pretty popular back in the late 70s, early 80s. Earl Campbell, Billy White Shoes. It was.
What you mean? What was that?
It was an
That was the
interesting
Oilers.
time.
Yep. That was what?
That was the Oilers.
Love you, boo.
Love you. Oh, the Oilers. Okay.
Yeah, that was all Houston Oilers.
Oh man.
Yeah. You had beefing down there.
They're now the Tennessee Titans. Okay.
We was going.
I mean, I remember that name. I'm like,
we-
oh, I remember Oilers.
That's
Okay.
bad. That we was one of the ones that made Archie Manning into the person that he came to be. But we had offense, but we had no defense.
Who was Archie
You know,
Manning?
and if I tell you, we made Archie Manning look like a
Wait.
superstar.
Wait.
We got
Say,
to
who was
pause for
Archie
a
Manning?
second.
Stop.
Yes.
Pause.
Pause. Station identification, please.
Let's rewind just a minute.
You didn't hear the question?
I just heard.
Yep, I
I
sure
think I
did.
just heard
Mm-hmm.
AD ask,
I sure did.
Yep. Who's Archie
is
Manning?
I sure
Archie
did.
Manning.
I sure did.
So, wait. You know who Peyton Manning is?
Yes.
You know who? You say you do know who Peyton Manning
Yes.
is?
Peyton Manning. Yes.
Who's his brother? You don't know Eli.
Oh,
Played
yeah.
in New York.
My bad. Eli Manning. Yes.
Okay, so you know both of those. You know Peyton is a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback.
Right.
Eli
quarterback as well.
I'm sure he'll get in the Hall
Well,
of Fame.
he ain't going first ballot, but he will be in.
He'll be first
I'm
ballot.
just saying, quarterback as well. Okay.
Yeah, quarterback as well.
Right.
I mean, he won 2 Super Bowls, and he is a Manning.
He won 2 Super Bowls,
and
right.
he's a Manning, so he's in the.
And he's a
Hall of
Manning.
Fame.
Right.
Second generation Manning because their father
Right.
Archie
Thanks.
Manning,
Thanks, Jeff.
the first
Thanks.
generation
Just
NFL
make sure.
quarterback.
Right. Good.
So dad is Archie.
Okay. Okay.
2 sons are Peyton and Eli.
Nice. Okay.
Grandson Archie
Grandson.
is probably going to be a first round draft pick at quarterback,
That's dope.
right?
Yeah.
So 4 men from the Manning family, and you totally missed the father.
Dad.
That's
Okay,
old
two
school
reasons.
though. You got
Right.
to go
2
back.
reasons.
So,
One, I'm not old enough, and 2, I'm not into sports like that.
you old enough,
You older than
but he ain't into
No,
sports,
you
so
old
we'll give him
enough.
that.
I'm not
You're
into
not
sports,
into
though.
sports.
You old enough.
I mean,
You old enough.
People
Yeah,
probably
you're not
name
into
some
sports. But
soccer,
Just to
AK
get-
football.
just-
You be like, who?
just to give you some context,
Yes.
Archie Manning was should I say he was a very good quarterback
The
Yes.
on a
GOAT.
very bad team.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was very
I got
good.
you. Okay. Gotcha.
So
Yes, gotcha.
he was like a Fran Tarkenton, but Fran Tarkenton was on a winning team. You feel what I'm saying?
Nope.
So, well, you don't even know who Fran Tarkenton is.
Like,
I don't even know why about it.
okay.
So, I told y'all, like,
Who's that?
clarity, kid. Like, you know,
Who's
I'm,
that?
I'm top level. Like, I'm the top of the level part. Like, if I get
He
it,
played for
most of them-
Minnesota. He played for the Minnesota Vikings back in the day, like in the
right.
late 60s, early 70s. Fran Tarkenton had the Purple People Eaters. That was
Okay.
that was the name of their defense.
heard that name before.
They was outstanding, but
People.
Heard
you know, it was back in the day. I'm a
I
sports
gotta-
historian too.
I got to
you know what I'm
back
saying?
up
So
though, Kaneem.
it ain't
Sports-
only hip hop.
Sports historian Kaneem. Why didn't y'all win with Ralph Sampson?
Yes, sir.
Why did you not win with Ralph Sampson? I'm like,
Bro.
you know, Houston has
Well,
squad for years and could not pull it off. And don't blame the Trailblazers for being in your way. Y'all had a better team. Y'all had everything you
Bro.
needed for championship, but couldn't
Check
win.
it out, man. Check it out.
Okay, hold on.
Check-
Wait.
check it
Pause.
out.
Pause.
We
Pause.
talked-
Pause. Hey. I need who's Ralph Sampson?
Oh man.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
'Cause
geez.
Oh, we
when
got
I
to put
start-
context out
hold
there.
on,
Ralph
hold on.
Sampson
When I
was.
started,
Go ahead
I'm
and
like,
explain. I want to hear Kaneem's explanation, but he was a baller,
Okay.
tall.
yo, Okay.
You know,
That's all. Listen.
it might have
One
been
of
the
the
first
first-
one.
One of the greatest.
One of the most
prospects.
renowned
He
7
was like
foot-
he was like remember when LeBron James? Do you remember the hype behind LeBron James when he was in high school, right?
Yes, I remember that. What up, Jeff? Jeff, I get you. I know.
Okay.
That's why I'm trying to
So,
take it slow.
Ralph-
That's why we're gonna take it
Ralph
slow. This might be a
Sampson.
3 hour show. Let's go.
Ralph Sampson was something similar to LeBron back
Right.
then. Now this was like
No doubt.
in the 70s. So he was through high school. When he got to college, he was still hyped up.
Good. That's good. Right. I got you.
He got to the league, he was hyped
Yeah,
up.
Yeah. So when he got to the league, he was hyped up. So when he got with the Rockets, they had the twin towers. You know what I'm saying? That's what they used to call twin Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson. So, but Ralph Sampson was always fighting. He was always hurt, and he never could
Always
produce
hurt.
on the offensive
Oh, okay.
end.
Always hurt. Okay.
He
was
was
a beast on
defensively,
defense,
he
though.
was good.
You didn't need him on the offense, so
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm just saying, but he's supposed to be well-rounded, right? He's supposed
But
to
he
be
couldn't stay
well-rounded.
healthy.
So, but he was always hurt. Yeah, he was always hurt.
So he's
He was like
an amazing player. Just always hurt. He's an amazing player.
Yeah.
Just
He was
very
too
fragile.
tall. He was too tall.
always hurt.
Ah.
He's like an AD, right? Like a Anthony Davis right now.
Anthony Davis. Right,
yeah.
right.
But let's
Okay.
think about the culture of the NBA back then too.
Yeah,
because
there
it
was a
wasn't
lot
as-
rougher. Yeah,
It
there was
wasn't a
lot
lot
rougher.
clean living either.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Let's just put it that
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Let's not like acting
clean
like
living.
the basketball did it to him. He kind of did it to himself. All right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You didn't go out and score 60 points
Yeah.
and then have a drug test the next morning.
Right. Right. They just
No,
switched the play.
because
That's
the
the
Ralph was always
definition.
tooted up. Like
Good morning.
You-
Philip.
you-
Good morning.
Hey fam, how you doing?
back
cuz?
then, you could toot it right there on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, you could toot right there on the sideline. You just turn your back to the camera and you back
Get it
on the
done.
basketball court.
Herman Troop is on, man.
Oh
That's
man,
Herman
what
Troop,
up?
y'all.
What up, brother?
What's
Oh,
up, Troop?
man. What's up, Drew? Good to see you, brother.
So yeah, I mean,
Um,
it was interesting back then. You know what I'm saying?
okay, so let me
But
let me add
the
this.
life lessons that you learned.
Yes. Yes.
Len
ahead,
Bias was the life lesson
No,
for
go
the
ahead.
NBA.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Back in those days, when you think about what it was a life
not
lesson.
not necessarily. He was.
Yeah, it was a
He
lesson about
was.
how you could have everything and lose it all.
So just to give you context, just to give you context, AD,
Thank you, sir.
Len Bias, college,
I heard him. Yes.
All-American, United States, right? All-American now.
Right.
Got drafted
Right.
by the Boston
Boston
Celtics.
Celtics.
Right.
Was going to the Boston Celtics. Already had Larry Bird.
Mhm.
Already had Robert Parrish.
Right.
Already had your boy. What's the little fast white dude? McHale. Already had McHale. They already had the
Okay.
Hall of Famers. But Len Bias was supposed to go there and just dominate, right?
Yeah.
The night he got drafted is the night he died.
Oh wow.
Yep.
He overdosed.
Celebration, overdose, heart just blew up on him. His heart just
Wow.
couldn't take no more.
Wow.
And I think he was what was Len about 19, 20?
Yeah,
He was a
not-
young guy.
This was before the NCAA had that rule.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He was a
I
young
think,
guy.
I think he was 19 or 20 or something like that.
Wow. Wow. What rule? What are you talking? What rule is that? Like as far as age or?
Yeah, coming into the NBA.
Okay.
Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right. You
NBA,
have
you
to.
got, I mean, with the NCAA, you got to do 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to
Gotcha.
do 1 year. But if I'm
So,
not
you know, back
mistaken, he
then-
did a couple of years.
Yeah, back then, I mean, you remember Kevin Garnett,
Right.
Kobe's, everybody coming out
Yeah.
of high school. There used to be, LeBron's and all
Yeah.
that. And then, they instituted a rule
Yeah.
that you have to at least do 1 year before coming in. So that's the rule he's talking about.
Oh wow. He said. Michael said.
Yeah.
Full of
yeah,
tears over Len Bias. I told my mom stop lying. He's not dead. I'm from
Maryland. Maryland.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was Len Bias' stomping ground. So if
Gotcha.
there's shows that like Snowfall. If you look at the show Snowfall in the beginning, it shows a little clip of Len Bias celebrating, and like
wow.
what was going on during that time in the 80s, like the
Right.
drugs, the
Right.
cocaine, the crack, and all that
Right.
other stuff. And then Len Bias happens, and then of course you had the war on drugs going on at that time. So there's a lot of different life things going on at that time when you talk about sports, and you think about like the Celtics. They had to recover from that because they thought that was going to be the next iteration of who they were going to be. So they went through some tough years when they lost Len Bias because that was their draft pick and they lost it,
Right.
so to speak. So it was pretty interesting, back then to think about sports and what's going on.
Right.
When we talk about sports fans and growing up, sports fans, obviously I'm a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan. That was the first team I just loved. You watch from the late 70s to early 80s, you're watching the Showtime Lakers. I mean, it was a show. And being from Southern California, that was what I got a chance to see. Yeah, Reggie Lewis also. So if you see in the comments, but there's this idea of what sports taught. There's this joy when it comes to NBA basketball.
Right.
Now, my football teams kind of went all over the place, and there's reasons why. Like I'm Southern California, so everything was SoCal. Dodgers.
Okay.
Back then it was the Rams.
Okay.
And it was Lakers, and so everything was SoCal. But then when the Rams decided they wanted to up and go to St. Louis,
right?
I flipped and I went to the Niners.
Okay.
Bump everybody.
Right.
So I wasn't really. I haven't been really like I'm loyal to the NFL, but not loyal like Brian is. He's loyal, and so, and then, but here's the interesting thing: growing up, I wasn't really a Raiders fan. I wasn't really a hockey fan, the Kings, but back then NWA and everybody wearing Raiders gear.
Right. I'm about to ask you, were you a Raiders fan? Like,
but you wore the Raiders gear, you wore all the stuff because you was the gangster in black and about to attack. You know what I'm But let's back up a little bit even more. Like there's college colors coming out when starter gear first came out, right? When starter gear came out, you were just looking at like what's the freshest, flyest that you could wear. So there are times where I was familiar with the Hoyas because they had all the fly gear, Georgetown Hoyas. And so they had all the fly gear. So you wear the Hoya gear. I remember Chicago Bears, just everybody had the
Bears jacket.
So you weren't really the fan, but you'd be the fanboy because you'd be wearing their stuff.
You're wearing their stuff. Like, yo, this is dope though. Like, this
it's nice, and
so it matches.
But it was still Lakers tried and true. Doesn't matter, and so Lakers had always been and always will be.
Right.
So in some years ago, like I was a Niners fan, and when this madness about Kaepernick came around, and how they just kind of pushed him out, and for me, my mindset about the Niners, it's one of the most liberal cities in America, San Francisco is.
Right.
And if you can do that and you can't even support your guy, in this thing that he's not really doing anything bad. I mean, people don't like him taking a knee. And again, he'll say, I asked a veteran, what's the best thing I should do? Right. You should take a knee. You should be honorable and respectful and take a knee. And, there's, of course, I'm not going to get into the political side of it, but anyways, that made me just go, you know what? I can't support a team that can't support a cause, a cause like this, especially from the city that's like that. So I basically took a step back, and then, I was like, Rams are back in LA. Might as well be back in LA. I'm back with the Rams.
With the Rams.
Yeah. And then, with football, I moved to Las Vegas. And so my sons wanted to be Raiders fans. So I'm like, you know what? I'm with you. We'll be Raiders fans.
We're going to be Raiders. I got you.
So I was like, I got an AFC team. I'll be the Raiders right now. And I got an NFC team, which is the Rams. And so, it's always been that. But what shaped sports for me was always the idea that we can go out, we can enjoy, have conversations around sports.
Right.
We can talk mess, we could talk trash. And it really, growing up, it allowed that camaraderie between people. It was also, the people who played sports in high school and everything else, they kind of got passes in the neighborhood. It was like,
right. That's a big one.
It was really
no.
Those types of things where you connected and just the friends and playing. So
no doubt.
And so you have a lot of memories tied to things. So like a lot of my memories are tied to Lakers memories and everything else. Most of my life, Lakers have been winning championships, right? So and at every decade we have championships.
We have a champion.
And so it keeps you. Oh, matter of fact, yeah. I'm just saying. And this is totally by wasn't really scheduled for this talk, but might as well, huh?
Right.
So anyways, but there's a lot of things that are tied to sports. I mean, your history, when you're away from your family and you still have sports, there feels like this connection. And and people get still connected around sports.
That's good. So with you guys into sports, following sports, I mean, you really shaped a lot why I wanted to kind of have this conversation, because I know I'm not the sports guy and I've never really followed. And I think it's certain points I tried to get into it, try to have these conversations, but I'm like, sometimes they get so deep. I'm like, man, I don't know what they talking about. Like, who they talking about? And instead of getting that face like Pastor gave me when I asked about somebody, like, how you not know? Like, dude, if I don't follow, it's like a foreign land to me. It's kind of like if you guys went to like Cuba and they started talking about football or soccer, you're like, I know Pele. Like, maybe certain folks just like, I have no idea because I'm just trying to learn this thing. Oh, but I do realize, sports, especially like football, is like the fabric of a lot of people's lives, and like you said, you hit it on the nail on the head, Thomas, when you mentioned there's memories attached to these things. Even, Pastor sharing the birth of his son, how that connection happens, keeping it 100. Like, I've had moments with my brother. Me and my brother aren't like estranged, but we've never been close. But I remember watching one of the Giants games. It was a Super Bowl, back then when they won. And they won the Super Bowl. It was like it's exciting moment. It's like, and I still remember that. Oh, and I think it was the Bills game with the Cowboys that they missed it, I think, by a field goal or something like that. It's like it was like 2 times they screwed it up. But and I see that, like, I'm not in sports, but I remember those moments. So I know sports is very relevant in a lot of people's lives.
So I have a question for you then.
Go ahead.
Why weren't you ever into sports? Because that seems like go ahead.
It never kept my interest, though. Like, I don't know. Like,
you're New York. What part of New York you from?
Is into sports. Like, there's nobody that was around me that did not have a connection. But I don't think they really had the deep conversation. Go ahead, though.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, but they never really had the deep conversations about sports. I mean, they kind of like, Giants and San Francisco, conversations. Some of my homeboys, of course, Jordan, Chicago Bulls, the Knicks, who could never win.
What were you into? What were you into back in the day?
What was I into? Honestly, like, back then, I was like more of a spectator. Like, let me just paint the picture. So I had video games just like everybody else. We had John Madden, and John Madden came from my brother. Like, when he bought Sega Genesis, John Madden, he got older, left the house, but he left his game system. I never played. I just never could get into it. But my boys would come play. I would watch, like, I would film it. It's crazy. Like, I'll film, commentate way before Twitch. I know, and just have these moments that I would just set up competitions, set up like we would do tournaments and stuff like that. But I never got into the game. It's the weirdest thing. Like, and thinking back now, it's like I should have known the players, and things like that. But I just never interested me like that. Like, my dad, he was kind of into it, but my brother was hardcore Giants, hardcore Yankees. But like I said, we weren't tight enough to really get into it together. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's one of those childhood, I'm never gonna do this kind of moments that I don't know. I just never got. I had everything around me to get into it, but it never interests me enough to really follow it.
So what was like your
York?
passion back then, though?
My passion was video. Besides playing video games, like I played adventure games and things like that. I used to make movies and things like that. Like I made, remember the old Transformers, the movie, the cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
I created my own, like a stop motion. Took like 4 or 5 hours. Stop motion, did a whole movie. Do my own script. Yeah. Like that's what I was into. Yeah, we used to make videos back in the day, had the music playing and I would direct videos and do silly stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That
you
was
did
my
it the
passion
hard
back.
way. You didn't do it from the phones and all that other stuff.
Right. And the big old
yeah. You did it the hard way.
Set up the joint like
what part of New York are you from?
Long Island. So
you
Nassau
from
County.
Long Island.
Yep.
And you don't have a sports history. That's crazy to me. It's like
right. I know. Everybody.
I guess it's just, I don't know. What man, I just don't get it. Were you into music?
Yeah, 100%. Hip hop.
Okay.
I spent like 2 summers at a studio creating music with my homeboys.
But to me, like when we talk about growing up and what life has taught us through sports, you think about hip hop and basketball. It's like hand in hand kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it's so popular now to me. There's that time where hip hop and basketball kind of came together.
The and one phase. And one.
Right. But even before then, it's just kind of a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And
right, true. That's true. They just took it to the next level.
Yeah, they made it cool,
Right.
And,
yeah.
But the thing is, it just seems like that there would be at least that connection, If you're a hip hop fan, there's at least a connection to some kind
watch
of.
But
as a creative, I guess you probably have this other mindset, and I find, and this is just my opinion, but I find a lot of creatives actually buck against whatever's the norm, like you were talking about.
I think that's what it is.
Like so, everybody's going
everybody
this
else
way,
is into.
but, I'm over here, and the sky's blue. No, it's orange.
Right.
I'm a creator.
Right.
And
Maybe.
you kind of have that.
That's true.
Right.
So,
I think because everyone was into it. Everybody, like not anybody that I hung out with, but didn't have a team. Everybody had a team. Oh, pass back. Didn't have a team. So yeah, I just never. Yeah, I would be on the outskirts. I would watch the games and not there. Okay. He wasn't ready. He had his headgear. But yeah, so I would like I said, I didn't really get into it like that. But yeah, I was all 100% into music. 100%. We did, we like anybody else, we had a rap group,
AD, what era? I mean, what was your decade? The 80s and the 90s?
Mine was the 90s. I graduated in 94. So it's like
I graduated in 90.
Yeah.
But New York basketball is something, it's historic. I mean, they have, it's legendary, right?
100%.
And even their college basketball, the way they used to battle and everything else. I mean, it's legendary. That whole East Coast, and for you to be,
my boy Syracuse, March Madness, they were all in. Oh, who going? Oh, where's Syracuse at? Oh, yeah.
New York, it was like it's the Mecca.
Yeah. I stood outside.
Yeah.
I stood outside.
The whole Big East. Everybody in the Big East almost won a championship.
Yep. I just it for me. It never.
I saw that you missed out on it, buddy. It was something.
You should have got into it. Like I said, I stood on the outside of that.
What's interesting though is when we talk about what his life taught us through sports, the playing of sports and different other things. I mean, you either learn one way or the other, like the Ralph Sampsons we're talking about. You get on the court, you get at a certain point. I don't know how many fights I've had on the court, actual fist fights, but I mean, a lot of talking mess happens. Yeah. But there's also you know, the idea that you can talk mess and still be friends afterwards.
Oh yeah,
You can still
100%.
have these fights and
Yeah.
everything on court and walk off
used to
court
play,
and still be okay.
Gorilla 21.
You know,
What
was that?
We used to play Gorilla 21. You gonna get smacked. Try to come in here.
Right. And,
you're gonna get beat up all the time.
Sports taught us that, you know, it's just sports. You know, you can take an L. You know,
Right.
that was one of the things back in the days, that you can take an L
You learn
and
to
still be
lose.
just
Right.
fine. You get up,
Right.
you keep moving and roll on, you know. And I bet you if you were to ask, you know, 20 years from now, the kids nowadays about what sports taught them, it wouldn't be about taking L's. It wouldn't be about like how do you fail and get back up, you know?
Right.
Now it'd be like, you know, man, look at all my collection of trophies that I got from just showing up.
I really don't think they're gonna keep participation trophies. Like I don't think
I got a whole case of participation trophies, and you know, it taught me how to respect other people's space because we couldn't touch each other.
Good sportsman, like I was good. I was a good sportsman. See, there you go.
Yeah.
So he said, Jeff said, right. At least you asked AD. You took the beating nicely. I just sit there and shut up, knowingly fake nod in my head with a period. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not. I can't do it. I don't want. I don't mind showing my ignorance when it comes to sports or even certain topics. Like, man, really, you got to dig deeper because I don't no idea what you're talking about. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. And I knew coming into this conversation, y'all gonna probably mention Hall of Famers. I'm like, who? Who's that? Like.
Michael Jordan. That's all you got to say.
Right. Oh, Michael Jordan. I know Mike.
Like every nice song from back in the days. Is that Marvin Gaye?
Right.
Is that Marvin
Gaye? That's Marvin Gaye. Most people into sports play some type of, whether organized or just outside fun. I played football. I tried to organize sports. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't have that stamina for it. I actually played baseball, starting with farm league to pony league. Wow. But that was the extent of my sports exposure. My dad never was really involved with sports. Wow. That's it.
I started off with baseball. Baseball was my sport. I still love baseball. And playing baseball is much better than watching it, even though it can be boring also.
Yeah.
So, you know, standing out there waiting for a ball to be hit to you, but when it gets hit to you, you know, one of my favorite moments of life, one of my favorite moments. And, you know, I played on a Little League team, and we're, you know, a game away from entering the playoffs, and we had to win. And I remember I'm playing left field, and ball gets hit, and it's almost in the gap, and I take off running, and I'm going after this ball, running. My hat flies off. And the catcher, who's my best friend at the time, catcher yells, "Put that afro in gear and catch that ball." Now, I know it's funny because your afro. My hat used to sit on top of my afro. You know, I used to have the 80s in my head, and I had it all out like this.
Love it.
And but put that afro in gear and catch that ball.
Wow.
I caught it.
Nice.
But, nice. It's one of my favorite moments of sports, you know, and just the things that connect. You know, it's interesting too when you think about sports and how it connects people. You know, just in the neighborhood, being able to play sports with people from your neighborhood and everything else. I got a lot of people that I'm still connected to, of course, through Facebook, but there's these memories we share often on Facebook, pictures and memories and different other things that we share with each other, and they're usually wrapped around sports or a moment, and the majority of them are sports. So, and sports ties you to points of life where, you know, you start reminiscing to where things are. Sports can be very powerful when it comes to tying to places in life. You think about the person who gets stuck in that moment where they used to be all that in high school. So every time you have a conversation with them, it's like, man, I remember when I used to do, and I remember this, and you know, they just get stuck in that moment, you know. It's like any moment now they're going to pull out their too little jersey and try to put it on, right? And it's going to be like a halter top, you know. But I still got it. I remember when I had it, you know. And so it can tie you to those moments because that's when you had a lot of success. It's when you felt like I was at my greatest and my best.
Right.
You know.
That's big. I think I think about that at times. Like, yeah, it can get you really caught up. Like I've had moments, but I don't know. My greatest moments now have been now. You know, like my best times in my life have been now, especially in comparison to, you know, growing up. And it was, like I said, cool growing up, parents handling their business, middle class.
Hey, I gotta ask you a question though.
No,
I just thought about this.
Don't ask me.
Did you ever play a sport and get clowned for playing the sport, didn't know what you were doing, just felt, you know, I'm done with this, forget this? Was there ever a moment like that, or you just totally like, I'm not into sports?
Nah, I mean, when I tried to play football, like, had no idea what I was doing, but I just never got into it. It was because I think it was my senior year trying to jump into football. Yeah, not a good time to jump in. Right? Not a good time. Didn't understand the game. You know, I think I was supposed to block. I was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to block. Get on the field.
Yeah,
that's the clean. That was the clean version.
A lot of times there's people who have those moments and just like,
yeah,
you know, I ain't right. Yeah, I can't deal with all this madness and I'm confused. You're confusing me. You're yelling at me, you know? And
I don't think
a lot of times people don't get into sports or other things because they feel like they're being bullied, picked on, or, you know, emotionally challenged.
I was never excited about playing sports. So like when we're gonna play touch football. I was like, I guess there ain't nothing else to do. You know, hey, we're gonna, you know, like it was never any only time This is Ask AD. This is Ask AD. What's up?
So don't give me that. Your whole circle
childhood. You said what?
No, your whole wasn't nobody in your circle in the sports because everybody I knew at my age, that's all we wanted to do was go outside and play some type of sport.
No.
Kickball, baseball, basketball.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I was a homebody. Like I was a homebody, but they would come to the crib and I was like,
okay.
Yeah, I was a homebody. Like I wouldn't stay in the house all day. Like I would go out early, hang out, but playing a bunch of sports all day wasn't my thing. I would force myself because like, I guess my friends are doing it. I guess we gotta do this. You know, like I gotta talk myself into this. Like I wasn't excited about. Only game I ever got excited about was the North against the South. You know, my homeboys on the other side of town against us. That was the only game I remember ever getting excited about. I was like, it's going down. It's going down. You know, that was probably the only game I ever got excited about. But outside of that, hey, let's play another game. Another game?
Man, Sean said it in the comments.
What's that?
So Sean said it in the comments.
Right. Nope, not me. I'm not
Listen,
if I can help.
So where I'm from, my hometown where I'm from, in the summertime, it gets super duper hot. It's stupid hot, right? So we would wake up early in the morning and we would go out and ball until it just got too hot to ball. Go home, shower, chill. But the moment it started cooling off again, 5 o'clock, we out balling out, you know, running up and down the court.
I think it's a gene because it's in my son too. It's that gene. Like I didn't have it, and because I think I was pushing myself to try to get it. I think like I just couldn't get into and you know, Thomas, that might have been the point. Like I just couldn't get into really playing. Like it was like when you list the things of passion, you know, like top to bottom. Like this thing was like below the bottom. Like,
I don't even
want to go do what?
Me though, I just think it was the hanging out. It was just we're doing stuff. It was being active, being outside.
Hanging out was fun. But I was after 4 or 5 games. I'm like, can we take a break? Can we take a break? Let's take a break. I'm tired. Can we take a break?
No.
Another game? Another game. We're gonna play another game.
Next. That was always
man. I mean, everybody, we thought we were really athletes back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
I got you.
It was like all day, all night. I mean, like your whole purpose was to wake up and go to the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's where everybody was. Like, I mean, I don't know how where y'all live was set up, but the park was where everybody would go,
100%,
especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
But it don't year round. Yeah, everybody went to the park. I mean, that's where I met my first girlfriend at. I mean, everybody went to the park. You know what I'm saying? It was just I guess a social event every day though. It wasn't like, oh, today is Martin Luther King Day. No, every day was a social day.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. We would go.
Oh, we played. It was touch on concrete, tackling the grass. Touch on concrete, tackling the grass.
Oh yeah. Fall on the concrete. You're gonna get scraped up a little bit. And you know, it's the crazy thing because even like going to elementary school, we used to get to school early enough to play sports, to play kickball. We used to have PE and do different things, and you know, there's always this physicality that we had growing up. You know, and you know, I was never.
Yeah, man.
So here's the crazy thing is I love playing sports, played all the time, but in high school I never had the grades to be on teams, so I've never played organized in high school, right?
Yeah.
I played a few summer league basketballs, but the reality is, you know, I was always around athletes, so I was always around people who played the sports and everything else. But you know, I got mine in when we did our things on the weekends or whatever. Football in the rain was some of the best football you ever play as kids. You know, there's these memories, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't never played in the rain, boy. You really wasn't dedicated. The rain was it. Oh, that ain't nothing. So
yeah, we were.
Football in the rain, boy. You slip and slide in that mud.
Slip and slide.
You go back to the house, your mom will be like, don't come here with them clothes on. I stood right there at the door. I went out of my drawers, boy. But I was happy to go out there and play in that rain.
But and the other thing is, you know, again, we never got thirsty because we drank out of water hoses.
Right. Yo, that was the best water though. That was the best water.
Yeah.
Y'all had water hoses? We were straight out of the spigot.
We did a spigot too. We put our mouth up on it. Yeah.
Once in a while, but most, you know, in the suburbs, we had.
You had a water hose. You were living large.
I was living large, man.
Don't put your mouth on the hose.
Listen.
And it didn't matter who house it was, whether you knew him or not. If you see that water, you going over there.
Didn't matter.
Going to get it. Right. Oh man.
Well, I know you're not.
Right. Going to get that hose. So somebody yell at me. So he asked, Sean asked me, AD, what is your competitive nature? Like, what do you compete? I think that was what's been crushed. Like, I've never been a very competitive person like that. Like, you know, when it comes to games, man, nah. Like,
come on, man, something.
I may say something later, but like, I really because my thing was right. I mean, I play, and this is why my wife doesn't like to play spades with me because I don't get crazy. So you know, like listen, I'm gonna do the best I can, son. That's it. You're gonna get the best out of me. It is what it is. You know, I'll push. You know, but I don't get crazy, and some of y'all get a little too crazy.
I like that
crazy.
Competition, man.
I don't get crazy, but there's always like I don't even talk mess when it comes to spades and everything like that.
Right.
You know,
you just
and I'm just
wait.
So I just let my game do the talking.
You can't do that. We got to rewind again.
I don't get.
Wait, but
let me play back what you just said.
Right.
You said that's I don't really get crazy.
I don't.
I just win.
I just win.
That's crazy.
Hey, it sounds crazy right now until you get me on the table. Then you'll understand.
Oh Lord. You hear that, Sean? You hear that? Right. Listen, get him on the table.
The thing is, like, even when I was playing sports, it wasn't like this craziness where it's like I gotta win. I want to have fun. I want to get everybody. I want to win, but like this is team sports.
Can we have fun?
You know,
where is Philip? Is Philip still on here, man?
There you go, Sean. You got me. The quietness.
Philip, you still on here?
Sean ain't quiet. Sean, stop it. You ain't quiet. He quiet. Sean is quiet. Let me tell you something. Let me let y'all know about Mr. Sean Rollins.
Sean Rollins is not quiet.
But understand, listen, if whatever game it is, like if he steps into a room that nobody know him, he'll be quiet. Like, oh, I'm just gonna try. Because first time he came over here to play spades, I was like, Sean Rollins don't really play spades. Quiet, just like, yeah, we go ahead and play a game. Let's play a game together. and he started playing. I was like, oh, this Negro know how to play.
If his wife is with him, and all you have to do is look at the expression on his wife's face.
Right, like,
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, people hate playing games with me too because I'm about the rules too. Follow the rules.
Right.
Let's get the rules right. If we're gonna play board game, spades, or anything else like that, let's get the rules right.
Let's get the rules right.
And now, when I'm whooping on you, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Just you sat down. You shouldn't have sat down. You don't need to get mad.
Hey, fellas, I got to run, man.
Yes, sir. Listen, Kadeem, appreciate you,
y'all
man.
enjoy the day, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And like I like to win. So I'm gonna play the game the right way. I don't need to cheat you. I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna smile through the whole thing, just like I am right now.
He says he doesn't get crazy.
I don't.
Right.
I'm telling y'all this. No one else is listening. This is
serial.
between us right now. No one else is listening. Okay.
No one else is listening. Right.
Nobody else.
Nobody else
us right now talking. Right. So I'm just having this conversation. I wouldn't do this in front of anyone else.
I hear Bernie Mac.
All this stuff.
North Carolina. It's just us here.
It's just us here. Right. Like I only see the two of y'all. I don't see nobody else.
Listen, he said I'm a quiet crazy. You know when it's coming. Listen, I'm
see back when I growing up in Illinois in Kankakee, man, it was back in the 70s and early 80s. It was all about roller skating.
Wow. Okay.
If you couldn't roller skate, you were
You got clown.
Yeah. If you had to skate in the middle, center of the skating rink. They had one of our skating rinks had a beginner's room.
Wow.
You couldn't get out there on the main floor if you couldn't skate. Man, people would just run you down. They'd run you over. Get out of the way. Get off the floor.
I will say this: when it comes to skating and watching everybody do that, that thing I asked AD about being like, I ain't doing all that because people, you know, I try to skate and everyone's zooming by me and all this other stuff, and I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna ever learn how to do this backwards, so why am I doing it anyways? I quit. I'm like, I can skate forward. I can't do no craziness. I can go around in a circle. That's about it.
All right. See.
Man, we used to. I traded a bicycle for skates once.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I had a bike that I custom made, but the skates were better.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? And like we did sports, but what we used to do, like we would go through the woods a lot, like just adventures. You know, just kind of looking, exploring, and stuff like that. We went to the park, but plus there was a shortcut to the park. Thank you, Mama Corey. Appreciate
love
that.
You, Mom.
Said got great conversation. There was a shortcut, and there was like these wooded areas. We used to kind of hang out there, created a fort, you know, do crazy stuff that kids do until we realized we were like on like town property doing crazy stuff. And we came back to our fort. And that joint was bulldozered over. Like they took that joint and pushed the dirt all. I was like, that ain't right.
Wow.
Like, that ain't right. Yeah. Oh, and then, oh my goodness, then the town over. And if y'all don't know about New York, it can be a little segregated. So the town over was, you know, a little more high class. And we found a bike like trail thing, like a bike setup where you can do like ramps and tricks and stuff like that. And so we started going over there. 2 weeks later, we go over there. That joint is flat.
See, they didn't do that. We had something called the clay pits. They were the clay pits. Okay. And we could take our bikes to the clay pits and just go to town.
Right.
Right. See, we had the salad bowl. So so no, it's literally like there's hills, is in the foothills. You take your bikes up there. And you know, you jump off of motorcycle jumps and different other things, but it's
yeah. We had then I found another spot. It was called Suicide Hill, where we jacked all our bikes up trying to mess around on that. That was like just the dumb stuff we would do. Dumb. We could have died. All right. So
the dumb stuff was in the military. That was the dumb stuff.
That was just
we did some pretty dumb stuff in the military. Scout bikes in Hawaii.
Wow.
Scout bikes in
Yeah.
Hawaii. Yeah, red
Wow.
clay dirt. It was
Ooh.
nasty. Like you go to the field and you ride a scout bike, head up to the top of the hill. But the best part about a field training exercise was coming back because you had to
Okay.
clean the vehicles, the Humvees, and you had
Right.
to clean the motorcycles, right?
Right.
So if you got to clean them anyway, why not just get them extra dirty before you clean them?
Ah.
So it would always take half a day to clean them because we went four-wheeling and dirt biking
Wow.
before we washed the vehicles down. And most of the accidents happened prior to washing the vehicles down. Like, how did this happen? Well, we were on our way back to the
We're just on our way back. Just on the way back. Wasn't really alive.
Murphy's Law, Sergeant. Murphy's Law.
He said we used to play chase 'em with our dirt bikes in the hallways of the schools until the cops chased us up. Chased us this one time. Yeah. My folks here. Yeah, me in the high school. We've been in there a couple of times when we shouldn't have been. So all right, guys. So we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Hopefully, you guys got something out of this. Oh gosh, she said cop tried to catch us on a motorcycle, but he was too big and clumsy. We zipped down the hill to our house and up into a garage and pulled the door down.
We couldn't really run from the cops in Kankakee because the city was too small. Everybody knew everybody.
Oh, we gonna get you, McCory. Oh, dang it. They know where I live. They know where I live. Four squares. Remember?
Four squares. Yeah.
What's that?
You talking about four squares like with the ball, bouncing the ball? Yeah, we did that.
Okay.
Man, my kids
we
still
played
play that.
we played running bases. Was
Run
so-
bases. Yeah.
So hold on. It was driveway to driveway, like across the street, and you had to run one to the other without getting hit with the ball. Nah.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. Okay, so yes, sir.
Upside the head.
Oh, right? Oh yeah, dodgeball, classic. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Tomorrow's Freestyle Friday, so it's gonna get a little crazy. If y'all don't already know, y'all may not even care, but De La Soul catalog is finally being released on Apple Music and all music platforms. That's been locked up for like 30 years that you couldn't really listen to it. I'm excited about it. I don't care.
Who's De La Soul?
So I appreciate you guys for being here. What they're not going to do is disrespect one of the greatest groups in the world. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you more. Stay safe. Make sure you do the right thing. And 988, you or someone you love is having a mental health crisis. We look forward to seeing you guys. Stay safe, guys, and share the broadcast. All right, that's it. I'm out. The disrespect's got to stop.